There's a cryptocurrency that I think that everyone should check out. Everyone should go and check it out before it's too late. But I want to explain what too late means. In a world where people are always racing after that next hot lead and it never ends up being anything, or they don't understand, time decay or how investments work or how mass adoption takes a while and they always miss the boat, it's because your timing's off. And there's one crypto that I bought a ton of, and I put my money where my mouth is, and what I believe is an incredible opportunity right now with the current price. So I want to talk to you about that. So, don't you like these dramatic entrances? It's just me sitting over to the side, just, This crypto, I sold half of my XRP for. Now, just to back up a little bit, because XRP is all the rage. As a matter of fact, type XRP if you own XRP. I still have half of mine. But I started buying XRP when it was 2 cents. And now XRP is $2.20, I think, today. It's a pretty good gain. I think a lot of people would agree. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn when I say, hey, how many people would agree that that is an awesome rate of return? And I wish I could have that. Type 1 if you agree with that. The only difference between me and possibly you, and the problem is people have these pain points. And one of the pain points in investing is you're always seeming to buy at the top and things go down. Well, that only comes down to timing. And I know it sounds pretty obvious, but the truth is I'm going to explain why this timing's happening. And I took half of my XRP and I bought this one crypto. A crypto that many people on this channel have made hundreds, if not thousands of % returns since December, and that is XCN or Onyx Coin. This is what the logo looks like. And if you want to know of a place to buy it at, I've got a link to an exchange that we use to buy it. It's right below. It's great, super simple. And I'll also put a link if you're new to crypto. And I really highly suggest you learn about crypto first before you dive in. The Bitcoin XRP 101 Accelerator will teach you everything you need to know go from zero to hero, basic to just crushing it in crypto. That link is down below. It's going to save you a lot of time and money. Excuse me. All right. So there's a story out of Blockchain Magazine. It's entitled Why XCN Crypto is Gaining Attention in 2025. And I want to remind you that XCN has, ever since I sold my XRP at $2 and was it 6 cents? I announced it when it was $2.20. XRP has done nothing in price. I announced that about 12 weeks ago. I got a lot of hate for it, but if you've been paying attention to the charts, you go look at the charts, XRP has not done anything in the price, okay? Since then, I talked about XCN and XCM from when I bought it with the XRP is up right now roughly 40 or 50%, right? The other day it was up 100%, so it actually pulled back a little bit. These are the times I like to talk about things because, again, talking about timing, why would you buy something at its peak when you could buy it at a deal, all right? Can you guys do me a favor? If you own XCN, just type it down below. I'm curious how many people own it here. All right. So this story out of Blockchain Magazine, and I didn't want to put XCN in the title because I want to attract people that possibly are looking for opportunities out there and you don't understand what's going on. I don't need a bunch of hype and a bunch of people trading this crypto based off of the videos I do, okay? I understand how all that works, and I'm not selling any of mine anytime soon, so I don't need the price to go racing up. So it says here, XCN Crypto, also known as Onyx Coin, has emerged as a focal point of interest in 2025. This article delves into factors driving its attention and all this kind of stuff. It says XCN, it gives this great explanation of what it is. And what I want you to understand, the biggest takeaway from all this jargon it talks about in the story, is that XCN is starting its whole new chain, its own ecosystem, on its own layer 3, which is going to be called Goliath. And that, I believe, comes out mid to end of Q3, sometime in between there and sometime in the beginning of 2026. So what you're seeing is a company that is evolving. It's evolving pretty fast. And one of the neat things is a DeFi play, right? Decentralized finance. And one thing that is very decentralized about them is this cryptocurrency. You have the ability to vote and come up with things to vote on. And one of the things that are going on right now, I'm referencing their X profile. is they've got a new poll out on their DAO that would provide 1 million in liquidity for XCN to USDT and XCN to Binance Chain BNB pairs on Pancake Swap. If this is voted on, then the company would provide 1 million in liquidity for that exchange, which is a very low exchange, decentralized exchange. I'm trying to talk slow so people get this. And what that would do is produce yet one more place that people could readily buy it at. Again, I'll put a link to a centralized exchange where it's really easy to buy it. But what this does is it brings more value to the project, and it's easier to pick up a crypto on multiple exchanges. To give you an idea, when I bought XRP, there are only a couple of exchanges in the nation, actually in the world, that were listing it. And so I had to send money to the UK, and I sent money to a part of Asia to go get XRP when it was half a cent, and then the next day it ended up being 2 cents. So I've been involved in these projects, a lot of these projects, way before anybody had ever heard of them. And that's why it's important to do that. Now, XCN, the Onyx team has done a great job, and Chain, which is a massive cryptocurrency company, in getting XCN listed in all kinds of different exchanges, both decentralized and centralized, right? The reason why I bring this up now, because I haven't been talking about crypto a lot lately, because we're just in a lull, this like pause moment. Bitcoin's been, tapped a new all-time high and then came back down a little bit. And right now we're about to hit that spark where everything starts shooting off again. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because a lot of people, they don't have good entry points into these things. And there's a big resistance level around 2 cents with this one project, but it's not just this project, it's a lot of cryptocurrencies. Because a lot of people are really messed up in the head. When they go buy a crypto, they expect to only go up. And then when it goes down, some people sell out of fear, and you shouldn't do that. And you should never buy a crypto unless you understand what it is and understand the possibility of a value proposition, right? If you can't explain the value proposition of a crypto to your friend that knows nothing about crypto, and they don't go, that doesn't make sense, you shouldn't buy it. My point being is that right now you have either people that sell right now at a loss, or you have people that just want to recover their money. They call it a crap coin, and they move on to something else. But they're going to only wash, rinse, and repeat those same actions, okay? Because they're not investors, they're speculators, and they have no concept of what's going on. Well, what you're going to notice, I'm going to give you a little crystal ball moment, okay? And I want everybody that owns XCN to type I agree or disagree with this next statement. Once XCN breaks through the 2 cent range and it hits, let's say, 2.6 to 2.8 cents and closes above then, you are going to see a massive move on XCN. The reason why is you've eaten up all of the people that bought around the 2 cent range are just wanting to sell at that psychological level, and you're going to have a whole fresh flow of new investors that are going to take it massively. So let me know if you agree or disagree. Looks like we've got a lot of people agreeing. So the question is, why wouldn't you buy at these current prices? Anything under 2 cents would be a deal. On top of that, you've got this company, the Onyx team and the DAO running, where they have a huge company, Chain.com, which originally created this coin and sold it, right? They merged it with XLM or with Stellar to create Interstellar. And remember, this project was funded by companies like Visa and Citigroup and some other big companies back in 2014, 2015, only to be able to, a private group reacquire, and I'm trying to hunt down who that private group is, reacquire it. And then you have Chain. Chain is a massive company in and of itself, a cryptocurrency company that is completely backing this project, even to the extent that it will sell its own services and products at a discount if you use XCN as the token to buy it with. That shows a lot of faith, right? But the thing is, and this is what's really sad, it's like XRP. XRP hasn't been moving a lot lately, and the reason why, and I know this because I was one, I'm actually in the top 1/10 of 1% of owners on the earth, and that's not bragging, it's just a fact, because I've owned it for a long time, and I sold my house to buy XRP and all that kind of stuff. What's happening is there are groups that are buying up XRP to stash it in their wallets, and I'm watching the large wallets get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they love that price being low. Well, I want you to understand something. XCN has some interesting affiliations with other X coins in the cryptosphere. And there are things similar to that happening with the XCN blockchain, and you could look at the wallet sizes and watch the wallets that are growing. The bigger wallets are getting bigger. All right. And so people that don't understand how capital markets move or crypto markets move, that's an easy way to see if big wallets are accumulating. That's smart money. So let's just do me a favor. Everybody type smart money if you agree. People that have lots of crypto are the smart money. I'm being serious. You've got to like get it out, say it, type it, because once you start learning this stuff and how it works, and then first off you go, "Hey Ninja, this crap's really simple." I go, "I know it is, but it doesn't have to be complicated." That's why I started creating courses on this. It's like, look, it's not complicated. You just need to have some exposure into this stuff. And when I say some, I'm not joking. Some, not leveraging your house, mortgaging your house. You could buy crypto only to find out that you're at the top. I know somebody that bought, $2,000 worth of crypto a handful of months ago, and they're sitting on $16,000. I actually know a lot of people like that right now. And so it doesn't take a lot of money to really, blow up in this market. So like I asked earlier, and a lot of people agreed that once we break through on XCN, this 2 cent range, we're going to see some much higher prices. And I want you to understand that those price moves happen in a very short period of time. But what you're fighting is negative sentiment. But is it really a fight if you're trying to buy it at the lowest price? The truth is, even during the downturn, the lowest this thing went back to was 0.0078. That was where I told my DeFi students to layer in their orders from 0.009 all the way down. And the thing is you have a coin, unlike XRP, that already had its own main net. When I invested in 2 cents, this coin is going from an Ethereum-based platform to its own network, and you are going to see something that's going to blow your mind. But it's okay if you're not in. I like to use this as an example in real time, where a year from now, you're going to be able to go back and people will watch this video where I was like, you may want to go look at this project. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But I took half of my XRP money and I put it into it. And then I waited for it to come down, and I'm letting all of you guys know, hey, it looks like it's a pretty good deal. You may want to go check it out. You may want to follow them on X. Again, just dip your toes. This is going to be, I believe, in the next year or two, the talk of the crypto markets. And that's just me, though. Again, don't take any of this as financial advice, but I'll give you a little bit of life advice. Wise men and wealthy, wise people, they dip their toes in lots of different markets and they learn about them, but they actually dip their toes a little bit before, just a little bit, $5, $10. And then they've got a little bit of skin in the game. It's like a course. You'll never take a course unless you pay for it. That's just how it works. And the more expensive the course, the more you pay attention to it, and then you learn from it and you make tons of money. This is really how life works. Well, it works the same with investments. Why wouldn't you buy $5? Why didn't I buy $5 worth of Bitcoin when I first learned about it at 40 cents? I didn't buy my first Bitcoin till it was $500. And I bought lots of Bitcoins at $500. I started selling off everything I had. I even sold my kit car, my Ferrari replica car, and all these things. And I used to remember telling my wife, I said, there'll be a day where I could buy a Ferrari dealership with this money. Now that day has come and passed. And I'm trying to teach other people how to do this because I just want to have really cool, rich friends. Type 10 if you agree with that. How cool would that be? All your friends are super rich and super happy and helping people. That's what I want. So I've got to create that. And we've all got to create our own scenarios, our own situations in life. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm the economic ninja. I'm just a dude with a bro. I got a dream, but that dream is to make 1 million people millionaires. So if you own XCN, do me a favor, type it down below. Let me know what price you got in. And there are some people like, oh, I'm holding on because I bought it higher. Then my question is, why didn't you dollar cost average your price down? Jeez-o. All right, with that being said, the economic ninja is out.